Good morning and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Kabul in the morning. Well, he will be inaugurating Afghanistan's new parliament today. And that is the big story we'll be following through the day. But let us begin with the headlines. India and Russia signed 16 agreements in various fields, including nuclear energy and defense. Two countries to jointly develop helicopters, and talks are on to set up 12 nuclear plants in India as part of Make in India plan. Prime Minister arrives in Kabul for a brief stopover to inaugurate Afghanistan Parliament building built by India and also meet Afghan President. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal announces details of the odd-even formula. List of exemptions include women, VIPs and emergency services. And festive spirit across the world as Christmas is being celebrated with traditional fervour. Pope Francis leads Mass at St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. Our top story, Prime Minister Modi arrived on a stopover visit to the Afghan capital of Kabul earlier today. Now, during his Kabul visit, he will inaugurate the new building of the Afghan parliament, which is constructed by India at a cost of about $90 million. The building will house the lower house with a seating capacity of 294, a 190-seat upper house, besides other facilities like conference hall and press room. Modi held talks in the presidential palace with the Afghan president. Now, talks include key bilateral issues, including security cooperation and discussing the ways to help a war-torn country where India has committed over $2 billion assistance. Well, before arriving in Kabul, Prime Minister Modi wrapped up his two-day visit to Russia. India and Russia have signed 16 agreements in various sectors, including nuclear energy and defense. Well, as part of the agreement signed after summit-level talks with Vladimir Putin, first project for a major defense platform has been signed to build Kamrov 226 light utility helicopters. Now, Prime Minister Modi revealed that talks are also on with Russia to setting up 12 nuclear power plants in India.
India and Russia have signed 16 agreements to expand cooperation in various sectors, including nuclear and defense. The agreements were signed after summit-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. One of the highlights was the signing of the agreement to build Kamrov 226 light utility helicopters, the first project for a major defense platform under the government's Make in India mission.
The intergovernmental agreement on manufacture of Kamrov 226 helicopter in India is the first project for a major defense platform under the Make in India mission. It is rightly with our most important defense partner.
Совместное создание ракетных комплексов «Брамос». Значит, уже крупносерийное производство противокорабельных ракет в интересах индийских военно-морских сил.
The second big pact was in the field of nuclear energy. The two sides signed a significant agreement for localizing of manufacturing in India for Russian-designed nuclear reactor units. This is to enable participation of Indian firms under the Make in India program. Prime Minister Modi said talks with Russia are underway for setting up of 12 nuclear plants at two sites in India. The two leaders underlined that the peaceful use of nuclear energy was the cornerstone of this cooperation.
The pace of our cooperation in nuclear energy is increasing. We are making progress on our plans for 12 Russian nuclear reactors at two sites. The agreement today will increase Indian manufacturing content in these reactors.
В нем зафиксированы планы по совместному сооружению в Индии дополнительно не менее 6 атомных энергоблоков в течение 20 лет. Растет динамика экспорта российских углеводородов на индийский рынок.
Earlier, addressing top business leaders of the two countries, along with Putin, Modi said that it is essential for the private sectors of the two countries to connect with each other. Hard-selling India as an attractive business destination, Modi also invited Russian CEOs to invest in sectors like aerospace, infrastructure and diamond, and said his government has created a favorable environment to boost economic growth.
हमारा दृढ़ संकल्प है कि हम अपनी टैक्स व्यवस्था को पारदर्शी, स्टेबल बनाएं और दुनिया में व्यापार के लिए सरल देश बनकर आगे आए।
The Prime Minister also addressed the Indian community at the Friends of India gathering in Moscow. He touched upon the issue of terrorism and said there is an urgent need to join force to fight the menace.
मानवतावादी शक्तियां अगर खड़ी हो जाएगी तो आतंकवाद को खत्म करना कोई मुश्किल काम नहीं है और उस रास्ते पर भारत और रशिया मिलकर के काम करेंगे।
Modi also visited EMERCOM, Russia's National Crisis Management Center. He also paid homage to Soviet soldiers killed in World War II at a war memorial in Moscow as he wrapped up his two-day tour of the nation. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Meanwhile, back home, the four BJP elders, L.K. Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Shanta Kumar and Yashwant Sinha met on Thursday to discuss the fallout of the Arun Jaitley versus Kirti Azad controversy. The BJP veterans have reportedly decided to raise the matter at all the party forums.
The Margdarshak Mandal of the BJP, led by veteran leader L.K. Advani, met at Murli Manohar Joshi's residence in New Delhi on Thursday. Suspended MP Kirti Azad is reported to have sought their intervention too in his suspension from the party. Senior leaders have reportedly decided to put forth their views on the party forum and also seek a commission of inquiry into the DDCA irregularities.
पार्लियामेंट खत्म हो गई थी तो अब हम पार्टी के पुराने तो आपस में मिलते जुलते तो रहते हैं, तो वैसे मिले और चाय पी और बातचीत हुई.
Other BJP leaders reacted cautiously to the development.
सभी लोग हमारे वरिष्ठ हैं और उन सभी के नेतृत्व में आज हम यहाँ तक पहुंचे हैं और लगातार उनके जो सुझाव आते रहे या मिलते रहे, पार्टी ने हमेशा से उन सुझावों का स्वागत किया है और हम सबके वरिष्ठ हैं और उनके आशीर्वाद से, उनके द्वारा किए गए कार्यों से आज पार्टी यहाँ तक है.
This was the second time that the BJP leaders were meeting in the last 2 months. They had held a similar meeting a day before Diwali when they sought accountability for the BJP's Bihar election debacle. The agenda at Thursday's meeting seemed to be an attempt to shield dissident leaders like Kirti Azad, Shatrughan Sinha and others. With Shyam Sundar, Bureau Inputs, Rajya TV.
And suspended BJP MP Kirti Azad has now sought Prime Minister Modi's intervention on the controversy. Now, speaking to media, Azad said that he hoped Modi will support him in his fight against corruption. He also warned that if he makes evidences of the DDCA case public, it will damage a lot of people personally.
A day after his suspension from the party, BJP MP Kirti Azad sought Prime Minister Narendra Modi's intervention in the Delhi and District Cricket Association case. Taking punitive action against him on Wednesday, the BJP accused Kirti Azad of indulging in anti-party activities and colluding with the opposition. Azad was very vocal in demanding an inquiry in a fraud in DDCA, which Finance Minister Arun Jaitley ran from 2003 to 2013. The BJP Parliamentary Board took the decision to suspend Azad.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी की राष्ट्रीय सेवक संघ की सदैव यह बात रही कि भ्रष्टाचार हटना चाहिए. महात्मा गांधी जी के बारे में, बापू के बारे में हम लोग सदैव बात करते हैं. आज मैं भाई नरेंद्र मोदी जी से कहूंगा कि इसमें अवश्य घुसें, आए, बीच में देखें और बताएं कि मेरी गलती क्या है.
Azad demanded fresh investigations and said large-scale rigging of accounts was rampant in the cricket board, but he did not name Arun Jaitley in the scam. Meanwhile, Vice President of the opposition Congress party, Rahul Gandhi, also joined the issue and demanded an independent inquiry into the matter.
जो व्यक्ति पहले कहते थे ना खाऊंगा ना खाने दूंगा, वो आज बिल्कुल चुप है. प्रधानमंत्री देश के प्रधानमंत्री हैं और लोगों का भरोसा टूट रहा है. उन्हें एक्शन लेना चाहिए, उन्हें इंक्वायरी करानी चाहिए.
The DDCA irregularities involved nearly a dozen alleged fake contracts and fake companies that operated between 2003 to 2013. A DDCA committee that investigated the transactions did not blame Jaitley but uncovered huge financial irregularities. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
Meanwhile, apart from a party's action to suspend him indefinitely, DDCA is also contemplating disciplinary action against BJP leader and former cricketer Kirti Azad. The DDCA Executive Committee is likely to meet at the Firozshah Kotla today to explore various disciplinary measures, including issuing a show-cause notice to Kirti Azad and also to Bishan Singh Bedi for making corruption allegations against its former president Arun Jaitley. Azad, who has been leading a campaign against Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on alleged corruption in the DDCA, was suspended by the party, which charged him for anti-party activities and accused him of colluding with the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party to bring it to disrepute. And in other news, the Delhi government on Thursday formally notified its odd-even formula while announcing the plan that is aimed at battling record levels of pollution in the national capital region. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal also announced a list of vehicles that will be exempt from the scheme.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal on Thursday spelled out for the first time details of the odd-even formula for cars to be implemented from January 1st to battle rising pollution levels. He said the intention is to cut vehicle emissions by half. The car rationing will not be valid on Sundays. Kejriwal told the media that a fine of Rs 2,000 will be imposed on violators. The plan will be in till January 15th between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
1 जनवरी से 15 जनवरी तक दिल्ली में सड़कों पे कारें ऑड तारीख को ऑड नंबर की कारें और इवन तारीख को इवन नंबर की कारें अलाउ की जाएंगी.
The government has made many exemptions. All two-wheelers, CNG-run vehicles, electric and hybrid vehicles, women drivers with children up to 12 years old, and the physically challenged need not comply with the rules.
एक अच्छी शुरुआत है. शुरू करते हैं. एक्सपीरियंस जैसे जैसे रहेगा उसके बाद टू व्हीलर्स को भी बाद में इंक्लूड कर लेंगे जब हमें लगेगा कि इस कैपेसिटी बढ़ गई है.
Opposition parties have criticized the move, saying it will increase people's problems.
असली बात है कि इसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन कैसे होगी, और जहां तक ऑड इवन की बात है, इसमें कई कठिनाइयां आ सकते हैं यदि दिल्ली सरकार एक अच्छे पॉजिटिव मंशा के साथ बिना किसी पे आरोप लगाए हुए सबके साथ काम करे, अलग एजेंसीज के साथ, नहीं तो दिक्कतें पैदा होंगी.
1 से 15 के बीच में एक असामान्य जीवन पर आप कोई एक पद्धति को चलाएंगे तो उसका कुछ एक असर होगा, लेकिन एक ऊपर से नीचे मिलके केवल नाटक होगा और ना इसका कोई सकारात्मक असर होगा. इसमें कोई भी दूरगामी ना हम कोई अनुभव ले पाएंगे.
Nearly 10 lakh private cars are expected to stay off Delhi roads because of the plan. Meanwhile, air quality across Delhi plunged into severe levels post-Diwali. Yesterday, Delhi recorded the most polluted day of the year. Vipin Chauhan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And now let's take a look at the events lined up for the day in the day ahead. It is former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee's 91st birthday today. Soon after his return from Russia, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Vajpayee to personally greet him. The Health Ministry is also set to launch 3 schemes to mark Vajpayee's birthday. The Indian Railways will also launch a new train on the occasion. Minister of State for Railways Manoj Sinha will flag off the new train from Betashar in Agra, which is the ancestral village of Vajpayee, to Itawa. Since coming to power last year, Modi government celebrates Vajpayee's birthday as Good Governance Day. President Pranab Mukherjee is in Andhra Pradesh for a pilgrimage. He will offer prayers at the ancient hill shrine of Lord Venkateshwara at Tirumala. Governor of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, ESL Narasimhan, is also expected to accompany the president during his Tirumala visit. Now, this is the second visit of the president to the hill temple this year. Before heading to the shrine, Mukherjee, who is on his annual winter sojourn to Hyderabad, will also formally inaugurate the newly constructed Vedic school built by the Tirumala Tirupati Devastham in West Godavari. It is the 154th birth anniversary of Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya today. A function to pay floral tributes to him will be held in the Central Hall of Parliament House, where his portrait is put up. The Allahabad-born Malviya was the president of the Indian National Congress for 2 terms and was also among the first leaders of the right-wing Hindu Mahasabha. An eminent educationist, he founded the BHU in 1916. He was posthumously awarded Bharat Ratna in March this year. Time for a very short break. Stay with us.
Tales that inspire, stories of social change. A salute to diversity, promoting public discourse. Events that motivate, inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries every Friday at 10:30 p.m, Saturday 12:30 p.m, and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Subhash Chandra Bose gave a revolutionary edge to India's freedom struggle. Netaji, as he was popularly known, was elected Congress president twice, but left the organization in 1939 following differences with Mahatma Gandhi. He founded the Forward Bloc and the Kisan Sabha before leaving for Singapore to organize the Indian National Army. After failing to secure Soviet Union support for India's freedom struggle, he joined hands with Germany and Japan to fight the British. His slogans Dilli Chalo and Jai Hind energized millions of youngsters in India. Bose went missing in 1945 after a plane crash in Taiwan.
All scientific discoveries are never made from origin, absolute nothing. They are made on the basis of known knowledge everybody else, and you go to the next step. So if you want to make use of discoveries made by the others, also you have to be prepared. Growth and achievements of India, whatever we see today, is because we have invested in last 60 years.
Watch Eureka with Dr. Dinakaran Salunke, Director ICGEB Delhi, only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Now, the cold wave has tightened its grip in North India as mercury dipped further, with Kargil in Jammu and Kashmir recording a low of minus 14.5 degrees Celsius. Amritsar in Punjab also reeled under sub-zero temperature, with the minimum temperature there being recorded at minus 0.2 degrees Celsius on Thursday. The higher reaches of the Kashmir Valley received light snowfall, and clear skies during the night resulted in plummeting of the mercury. In the national capital, wintry conditions continue to prevail, with minimum temperature settling at 7.2 degrees Celsius, a notch below the season's average, and also the maximum temperature was recorded at 19.2 degrees Celsius, which is 2 notches below normal. Dense foggy conditions were witnessed in certain parts of the city. In Haryana, Narol turned out to be the coldest place, recording a low of 3.5 degrees Celsius. In Rajasthan, trains are running late due to the dense fog there. Churu was the coldest in the state, recording a low of 3.4 degrees Celsius. The Meteorological Department has predicted chilling temperatures over the next week as well throughout North India. And internationally also, with the festive period comes the onset of tornadoes and storm season in the Americas and the Europe. Severe storms across Argentina, US and Europe have killed at least 7 people and injured dozens more. In northern Mississippi, authorities reported 4 people dead when a tornado raged through the state before moving eastwards into Tennessee. Now, dozens of homes have been damaged or destroyed, and holiday travel plans have been severely disrupted in some areas. States from Louisiana to Illinois were under a tornado watch on Wednesday. Meanwhile, evacuations were also underway on Thursday after heavy rains caused rivers to burst banks in northeastern Argentina. Large swathes of the city of Concordia in Entre Rios province were flooded as rising water levels forced thousands of people to leave their homes. Meanwhile, in Europe, the municipality of Milan in northern Italy has decided to ban all traffic on 28th, 29th and 30th of December to fight against pollution exceeding permitted limits. Bosnia and Herzegovina, which is experiencing a high air level pollution, have also closed schools. The health institutions recommend the use of protective masks.
It is difficult, particularly this time of year, to see such damage and know that heartbreaks go along with that damage, that families have lost loved ones. 7 Mississippians have been lost in this storm. Funerals will be planned. This should be a joyous holiday season, and it will not be for many.
Now to the big international story. Well, Syria has hinted involvement in the international peace talks due in January, even as fighting and airstrikes continue in the capital. Now, Syrian regime said that they are ready to enter talks aimed at ending the war, but made the participation conditional on which opposition groups would attend. Now, the UN-sponsored talks are due to end in January in Geneva.
The Syrian government has indicated it is willing to take part in the peace talks in Geneva scheduled for January. During a visit to Beijing, Syrian Foreign Minister Walid al-Muallim expressed hope that the dialogue will help the country form a national unity government.
We hope that this dialogue will be successful to help us in having a national unity government, and this government will compose a constitutional committee to look for a new constitution with a new law of election, so the parliamentary election will be held within the period of 18 months, more or less.
His comments reflected government's approval of the plan, but with apparent preconditions. Syria has rejected any foreign interference at the talks and will only take a final call after receiving a list of the opposition delegation. China too backed the Syrian stand that the people of the country and only they should decide on their future.
Yes, I inform my dear colleague that Syria ready to participate in the Syrian dialogue in Geneva without any foreign interference, and our delegation will be ready as soon as we receive a list of the opposition delegation.
叙利亚的前途和未来，叙利亚的国家体制，包括叙利亚的领导人，最终应该由叙利亚人民来做出选择和决定。这一立场，那么符合联合国宪章的宗旨和原则。
The UN Security Council had unanimously approved a resolution last Friday endorsing an international roadmap for the Syrian peace process. It aims to bring the Syrian regime and the opposition together for negotiations to establish an all-inclusive transitional governing body within 6 months. But it still does not address the sharpest difference, the fate of the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Despite a rare show of unity among the major powers, the obstacles to ending the 5-year-long civil war remain daunting. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
News from the Middle East. Well, the Arab League on Thursday accused Turkey of violating international law and Iraq's sovereignty over a military deployment earlier this month that has raised tensions between Baghdad and Ankara. Earlier in December, Turkey sent a contingent of additional forces to bolster its military presence in the Bashika camp near Mosul to train local forces in the fight against Islamic State. But the move prompted a backlash in Iraq, sparkling a diplomatic spat between Turkey and Iraq. Last week, the Iraqi government brought the issue to the UN Security Council to demand the unconditional and full withdrawal of Turkish troops. Ankara has said that the deployment of the Force Protection Unit was due to heightened security risks near the camp, which is close to the Islamic State-held Iraqi city of Mosul. The base came under fire from Islamic State last week when militants fired rockets as they launched a wave of attacks against Kurdish forces. Iraq says it will give Turkey a few days to withdraw, but it also warned that it is willing to escalate its actions.
هذا التأييد يعكس حجم التضامن العربي الواضح مع جمهورية العراق ووقوف
الدول العربية إلى جانبها في المطالبة بانسحاب القوات التركية فورا إلى الحدود الدولية المعترف بها بين الدولتين.
يقرر الإعراب عن إدانته للحكومة التركية لتوغل قواتها العسكرية في الأراضي العراقية باعتباره اعتداء على السيادة العراقية وتهديدا للأمن القومي العربي. 2. مطالبة الحكومة التركية بسحب قواتها فورا من الأراضي العراقية.
And some more international stories now in World Wrap. A Belgian man has become the 9th person to be arrested in connection with the terrorist attacks in Paris that killed 130 people. Abdullah C. is believed to have had several contacts with one of the attackers. He's being charged for participation in the activities of a terrorist organization. A UN-brokered deal could see thousands of Syrian rebels and their families leave areas in and around the Yarmouk Palestinian refugee camp in Damascus. The deal, yet to be finalized, involves an agreement between rebel fighters and the Syrian government. The aim is to make Yarmouk safe again so that 18,000 people believed to be trapped there can receive aid. Scores of people have been reported killed in an explosion at an industrial gas plant in southern Nigeria. Local news reports put the death toll above 100. That includes factory workers and neighbors. Now, a truck is believed to have exploded as it was offloading butane cooking gas in a town in Anambra State. The firefighters struggled for hours before dousing the fire, which was resulting from the explosion. Time now for all the sporting action in Sports Beat. Defending champions Afghanistan will take on Maldives in the Group B clash of the South Asian Federation Football Cup at the Greenfield Stadium in Thiruvananthapuram today. Both the countries went through extensive training programs with all the national team members. Afghanistan remains the highest ranked side as they are favourites to retain the title. Fallen FIFA Vice President Eugenio Figueiredo was jailed pending trial in his native Uruguay on Thursday after being extradited from Switzerland to answer charges in the massive corruption scandal roiling international football. Figueiredo, the former president of South American Confederation, arrived yesterday morning and he was taken directly to an initial court appearance where he was remanded in custody. Former world number 4 Robin Soderling has announced his retirement from professional tennis via Twitter. In his 10 years career, Soderling compiled the 310-170 match record and he captured 10 ATP World Tour titles. He enjoyed his best results at Roland Garros when he made history by handing Rafael Nadal his first loss at the event in 2009 and upset Roger Federer on the same court in 2010. Later that year, Soderling secured his lone ATP World Tour Masters 1000 title at the BNP Paribas Masters. New Zealand captain Brendan McCullum has signed to play limited overs cricket for Middlesex next summer. The 34-year-old will join his country when his Indian Premier League stint comes to an end and he'll stay until 25th of June. McCullum, remember, announced his retirement from international cricket in February following a home 2-test series against Australia. He has played 99 tests, 254 one-day internationals and 71 T20 games for the Kiwis, scoring more than 14,000 runs in the process. Well, time to wrap up this bulletin. But before we leave, here are the visuals of Christmas celebrations from around the world. Wishing you all a very Merry Christmas. Thanks for your time.